Sorry again for eating pizza in your ear.
Oh, don't apologize.
No malicious intent.
If anything, it's a really big ASMR thing for me.
You know, there's somebody out there that's like, dude, that's kind of my thing.
Could you eat the pizza slower?
I'm so
faster.
Into that.
Fast. Okay, now faster. All right, slower.
We're starting off on a real high note here.
I want you to go faster during the cheese part and slower on the crust.
Describe the crust as you eat. Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, it's big business. Look into it. Or not, whatever.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Beer O'Clock Podcast. Oh my gosh, who would have thought that this would still be happening? Am I right?
I think it's a really big ASMR.
Right? Welcome to the Beer.
Despite your best efforts, we're back, everybody.
Yep. You thought you could keep us down. You could not. I'm posting a comment. I just realized I didn't do this. I'm posting a comment over in Retro Death Row. Hey, Keith Martin Roden. What's up, Keith? Welcome in, buddy. The guy's so nice, they named him thrice. Come and join us over on Server Life Gaming, actually. We're going to host comments over there tonight. How about that, Adam? You okay with that?
I'm more than okay with that, Steve.
I was hoping you were going to say more than just that, so I'd have a second to type up the comment.
I feel like
just phone it in there, Adam. Bare minimum.
We're getting more into the comfortable like co-anchor stuff, where we're starting to get on first name basis after every sentence. Like, oh, that works for me. If it works for you, Steve, how do you feel about that, Adam?
Okay. You can tell. Okay, I'll explain right now that Adam and I, good Lord, had a hell of a time getting this thing off the ground tonight. The cosmos were trying to keep us down, but we said hell no to that. Not happening.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. We're still going to have this podcast. So just letting everybody know, we will be hosting comments over at Server Life Gaming tonight. So those of you that are gracious enough to show up on my dead Facebook gaming page, Retro Death Row, come join us over at Server Life Gaming, where we're going to be hosting these comments. I want to shout out Elliot Wilson, though he flexed 773 days of followage on Retro Death Row.
Have no fear, the D is here. Or dad, however you want to look at it. Did I ever tell you that story? That was such a good story. So he comes into my stream, right? And I'd never met him before. And, we got into a conversation about streaming and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, what's your stream page? And I'll give you a follow. And I swear in my mind's eye, when he typed it, it was without spaces. So it was like, have no fear, dad is here. And I'm like trying to read it, and like my brain read it as have no fear, the D is here. And so I'm like trying to read it, and then all of a sudden my chat's blown up like, it's dad, Adam. It's not
have no
not
fear, the D is here.
I was like, maybe I'm just jaded by a whole bunch of like shitty Xbox player gamer tags, that I immediately go for the dick reference. But it was hilarious. And so ever since then, he has always been the D to me and not dad.
D. He's always been the D to me.
The D to me.
It's funny because as some of you may know, I have been streaming more on Twitch these days. Had a change up of my schedule, and streaming in the morning on Facebook for me was kind of going a whole bunch of nowhere. So I started streaming in the mornings over at twitch.tv/the Retro Death Row. Not just Retro Death Row, but the Retro Death Row. You know why? Because I am the Retro Death Row. Remember when they made the Ghostbusters cartoon, the real Ghostbusters? Did you ever watch that?
I'd never watched the real.
Not just Retro Death. You did not. Oh my gosh! Wow, that was a fantastic cartoon. But I always wondered why they called it The Real Ghostbusters. But it's basically, it came down to this whole copyright battle or whatever. But anyways, it's the Retro Death. But yeah, I've been streaming over on Twitch. Anyways, is the long and the short of all of that. But basically, the point I'll bring all that up was you'd mentioned friggin' Xbox kids and obscenities and whatever, and I had my first person show up in stream today claiming that they had relations with my mother. So the official Twitch cherry has been busted. So now that someone has come in claiming that they made love to my mom.
You're a man now, Harry.
So, hey, everybody, thanks again for coming out tonight. Like I said, apologize that we're later in the evening than usual. Also, apologies that we're a week late because we had everything in the world happening on us last week, but we're here and we're ready to do this. And we're so excited to make this happen. So, I am going to mention my beer first of all, because I want to, Elliot says, congratulations to me and my mom. Elliot's like, no, the D is here.
it's here.
So, but I am going to go
thank you for the 100 stars, by the way, my dude.
Nice. So I am going to be drinking a Lil Helper. Lil Helper. I love it when anything is titled Lil instead of little. It immediately kind of gets a little aw from me, in my heart. But it's a Midwest Coast India Pale Ale, 7% ABV by the glorious Mother's Brewing Company. Mother's Brewing Company here in the heart of the Ozarks. My favorite brewing company, local place.
The heart of the Ozarks.
Love them with all my heart. So,
does this explain your complete Lil Wayne discography collection because of your love for the word Lil?
Yes, actually, it does. How did you guess that?
I mean, call it a blind stab in the dark. But...
However, did you guess?
Well, I saw your airport ticket and your luggage. I just put 2 and 2 together.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. Adam, what are you drinking tonight?
I've got the, it's not craft at all, so don't roast me, but Modelo Chelada. I know my boy Willie Will over at Green Slate Gaming's got love for Modelo as well. He prefers the green can, which is just the lime and salt version of the original Modelo. The Chelada is actually kind of more of a, it's almost like a Bloody Mary beer, if you can fathom that. With it's got like its own kind of blend of spices. It is different than Bloody Mary mix, but it's a spice blend. It's almost like it also has salt and lemon as well. It is a delicious tomatoey treat. I know you were talking about your love for V8 on your stream the other day.
I do love
and that's
V8.
That's why I was asking you about that, because I was like, well, if you like those kind of beverages, you might like a beer version of that. And then I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to drink on the podcast.
Hey, and that's a great tie-in, by the way. So let's give Adam a little hand clap here. I know we can't hear any of you fine folks, but I'm going to give him a little clap and say, yeah, that was a great tie-in.
No, I didn't mail that one in, huh?
No, not like the rest of what's happened here tonight. But Justin Apple said, "Voice of soccer to the Ozarks," right there, Mr. Steve Askins. Dude, there is such a funny story, but I need to find this picture for you guys. If depending on how the evening goes, if I can try to scrape that thing together and pull it up on screen, I will do that. But me and my boy Justin, and I think there was a couple other guys with us, we were at the local bar here back during the World Cup, Women's World Cup, excuse me. And I got interviewed by the local news talking about the U.S. women's national team, and it was pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, made it on the news. Picture online, and I looked totally trashed, and I'd had maybe like half a beer, so I wasn't even close to being drunk. But yeah, but the picture is hilarious. I look like I'm like just sloppy, but Good times had by all. Absolutely. But yeah, I love me some V8 juice. Who in the chat, tell us your opinions on V8. Good Lord, I loves me some V8 juice. Loves me some V8 juice. Yeah. It's good stuff.
I kind of agreed with one of your viewers when I forget who it was, but they said like they didn't like V8 at all as a kid, but they actually really enjoy it now as an adult. And I definitely fall into that category as well. I mean, I remember as a kid, like my mom trying to give me one, and I was like, that is the most disgusting thing ever. And, fast forward, like, it's like so true. Like, never say never about anything, because there's so many times, even in my adult life, where I was like, man, I remember when I said I would never like this, or I'd never touch this shit, or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's like almost scary how sometimes it comes back around and still gets you. So never say never. It has a very valuable expression or adage, or whatever word you want to use.
However you want to describe that, right? No, and yeah. it's funny though, because now Elliot made the comment and said that V8 is a drink for men, or V8 is for men, and you'd mentioned about how like kind of like your tastes change and stuff. V8 is probably one of like 50 of those things that like, man, I hated it as a kid, but like now,
for sure,
now that I'm grown, it's like, dude, I appreciate the crap out of this stuff. It's good. I mean, it's tasty. It's loaded full of vitamins and all kinds of other good stuff. Probably someone's gonna come in the chat and be like, actually, when you drink that, it can make your two testicles merge into one testicle that will actually start fighting your immune system. And it's like, no, someone's going to come in and tell us something wrong. But I love V8 juice. I think it's good. And this for me,
the prospect of two testicles merging into one gigantic mighty ball does sound intriguing.
The mighty ball, is that what you want? You want a one mighty ball?
Yeah, I mean, I'm married now. It'd make a hell of a showpiece,
That's true. One would even say a conversation piece.
Imagine all of the jokes you could make when you're watching Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, when the giant boulder is rolling behind him down, when he's trying to escape. Like, it just writes itself at that point. Any gigantic ball you ever see on any movie or TV show, be like, oh, I know what that's like. And then, give the dad joke face.
Yeah, there you go. The dad joke face, right?
Yeah, you gotta have the dad joke face.
So, who mentioned up here? Oh, Alexander says he only likes the fruit flavors of V8. V8 Splash is good. The only reason why I avoid that is because it's all like sugar. I mean, not like I'm a healthy guy. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm less than healthy. But that's the only reason why I avoid that, but it tastes great. But V8 does have some newer, like fruity drinks that are actually, I think, healthier. I want to say, I have not bought any of them, but they have that healthy label. You know how like stuff, you can tell by the label that they're trying to push that it's healthy, right? It's got those kind of labels,
But in reality, it's not.
we never know. Alexander says sugar is the best, which I will not say that he's wrong. Sugar is pretty rad. Sugar is responsible for so many great things in the world. So,
also a Help System of a Down song.
Oh my gosh, Justin just sent me that picture. Oh my gosh, I need to find a way to. Let's see if I can bring this up here. 1 second here. Oh, it's not working. At least not yet.
He said first we had the super boob, now the mega ball.
There it is. There's me. Adam will see that 30 seconds from now whenever it actually shows up on his end of the stream. But yeah, there's me, Steve Askins, Team USA fan, and I'm like, I'm very excited to be here.
Whoever sent you that picture to show on this stream right now, I thank you personally.
Yeah,
from my portion of it. That's fantastic.
The face only a mother could love. And there's my friend Justin. You can see his back right there. But yeah, we were up there representing for the Team USA women's soccer team, and they freaking ruled. That was a hell of a World Cup. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, you looked like you had a great time.
Yeah, absolutely, I did. What's up, Jeremy Stice? Yeah, it was a great time. Very, very memorable. I've watched the Men's World Cup in that bar too. Not nearly as favorable an outcome, but we still had a great time.
Very true.
Oh my gosh. So, Adam, oh yeah, you already told us what your drink was. Sorry. So, I'm gonna have to try one of those. I've never tried one. Now you said it was a Modelo. I do like Modelo. I didn't realize that Modelo made one of those. I've had the, good Lord, is it Budweiser that makes, or I don't know. It's one of the more mainstream or whatever you want to call it, sort of brewers who makes it. But I had that one and I was not a fan. But maybe I'll like the Modelo one. Who knows?
I do have a kind of a good story about the original Modelo. Again, harping back to Willie's love for Modelo as well. I worked as a manager for an undisclosed restaurant company, and I was very, very unhappy there for a long time. And I kind of developed a kind of a bitching relationship with the cleaning guy that would show up at 1:30 in the morning to clean the restaurant. And every time he would come in and be like, how is things today? And I'd be like, man, you don't want to know. And I always just tell him my gripes, because I'd always be there super late. Like, what the hell is the manager doing in the restaurant at 1:30 in the morning? You tell me. So anyway, I talked to this guy on the regular about, everything, my problems, whatever. So when I finally got a new job and moved on, it was my last, the day that I found out I was leaving, it was a week later, he comes in, he's like, hey, how are things, man? And I was like, oh, good. I got this. And he's like, that's good. But I kind of glossed over the main point. He was very happy for me. But there was one part where I had just a horrible night. And he comes in and he asked me how things was. And I was like, man, I just can't wait to go home and get a beer and sit on my couch and cry. And he puts his hand on my shoulder and he's like, if you're going to do that, make sure it's a Modelo.
Make sure it's a Modelo.
It's the best beer to cry to. And so
the best beer to cry to. Oh my gosh, man, how memorable is that?
Every time I see Modelo or I get one now, I'm like, it's the best beer to cry to. It's stuck in my brain now, and I can't get over it. So
must be why I'm a fan.
little quick story about Modelo. Next time you want to cry, get a Modelo and tell me how it makes you feel.
I come in with a 6-pack of Modelo's, and Carrie's like, "Oh no, what happened?"
Oh no, what happened?
Oh man, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks again for coming out this evening. We're really excited to be able to come back with the Beer Clock podcast with you guys. If nothing else, it's just a fun time to hang out with my bro Adam here. I didn't introduce us. I'm Steve, and this is my friend Adam, and this is the Beer Clock podcast. It's all just about two bros hanging out. I shouldn't have said the word bros, because I'm always like, oh, he's a real bro, whenever, and I say that in a derogatory manner towards someone. But no, the two friends hanging out, talking about stuff, having a good time, and relaxing.
The good bro, not the bad bro.
The good bro, not the bad bro. That's right. Yeah. Oh, Adam, we've had some comments about your jersey. Any football remarks you want to make, or?
Fire the cannons, baby. We going all the way. See you in Tampa. Also, real quick, as a Buccaneers fan, I would like to gripe about one thing when it comes to the upcoming Super Bowl. It's been brought to my attention that Tampa Bay will not be allowed to fire the cannons out of the ship, the pirate ship in the home stadium, when they score a touchdown for the Super Bowl. Why? I'm so glad you asked.
I'm so glad.
They claim it to be in the spirit of neutrality, right? Because they don't want to feel like one team is favored more than the other in the Super Bowl, right? I say bullshit. It's not Tampa's fault that they made it to the Super Bowl on a predetermined location that happens to be at their stadium. Come on, is it really going to make that big of a difference if they fire the cannons? It's not going to make that big of a difference if they don't fire the cannons. But I feel like, come on, the ghost ship is built into the stadium. It's gigantic. And you're going to tell me that if the Bucs score a touchdown, it's just going to be just sitting there? come on. Like, from a Buccaneers fan, it just bothers me that there will not be any cannons fired. Do I agree with the neutrality? Probably. But it doesn't mean I have to like it. And rant.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. And I think that's an inspiring message for the future generations of not just sports lovers, but of mankind to say. And I tell my kids this stuff all the time is I'm like, there's a billion things in the world that I absolutely hate, but I put up with because it's just kind of part of being an adult. Does it mean that I like those things? No. But do I accept them and be a decent human being? Well, heck yes, I do. And I would expect no less from you, Adam, because you're just a decent human being, man.
Oh, don't make me blush on camera, Steve.
All right, anyways, on to our first article. So, Harrison Ford to
Well, what else do you
reprise
like about me?
Indiana. Yeah, let's dive back into that. Hold on, let's go back over to the other screen here. Well, let's talk about you, Adam. No. Harrison Ford to reprise Indiana Jones role for fifth and final movie. Got a lovely picture of a much younger, semi-shirtless Harrison Ford here. Harrison Ford is donning his hat and whip once again, reprising his role as Indiana Jones for a fifth and final movie directed by James Mangold. I do not know who that is, which is crazy because I know all kinds of stuff about TV and movies, but James Mangold?
It doesn't strike a chord with me either.
Doesn't strike a chord with me either, but they make it sound like he's something. Anyways, I found this quote down here interesting. We're working on the script. Marshall said there will only be one Indiana Jones, and that's Harrison Ford. To which I would agree. There should only be one Indiana Jones, and that's Harrison Ford. Or at least Indiana Jones in the film franchise. Adam, did you ever watch... Didn't they have like... there was the Young Indiana Jones TV series that was on for a little while. I don't know.
I never watched the series. I read a couple of the books in my youth.
Yeah.
The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Now, I couldn't tell you what the hell they were about now, but that's as far as off the cinematic path as I went with Indiana Jones outside of the video games.
Yeah.
Which Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade on the NES is a great game.
You know, I've never played that one in the Last Crusade. See, I assumed you were going to go with Temple of Doom, but yeah, Last Crusade on the NES. That one, I never had a chance to play it, sadly. So you agree there should really, yeah, I'm from what you'd said a minute ago, that Harrison Ford's really the only Indiana Jones, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
At what point, like how many years do you think would need to pass for them to possibly resurrect the franchise with the new Indiana Jones, or is this just a hard no?
I feel like if you could resurrect the character, I suppose. I think 10 years is a good cutoff. You know, I feel like it's a generational gap. You know, somewhere in there. I mean, how long did it take them to start rebooting movies when they first started rebooting movies? Like, I mean, Star Wars, I guess, took quite a bit of the time, but I don't know. I think I'd start with 10 years. I couldn't be mad. Now, if you end the series like Spider-Man and then reboot Spider-Man 3 years later with another character, and then you do it again 3 years after that, like, that's too much.
Yeah. No, I get that. And yeah, I think this kind of goes back to our previous discussion about remaking franchises when it's really something that nobody's asking for, you know, and the topic of discussion last time was the Ghostbusters movies. It's like there's no one in the world that was asking anyone to make more Ghostbusters movies with a different set of Ghostbusters, you know.
Right.
But it was done and it went over like a turd in a punch bowl. But at the same time, I wouldn't say that it couldn't be done. So yeah, I'm definitely the mindset. Indiana Jones is Harrison Ford. So to take that franchise on with someone else, I would say would be a tragedy, at least until several years pass. Now, That being said, Chris Pratt, Indiana Jones casting rumor gains momentum. So apparently there's words flying around Hollywood here that Chris Pratt could wind up being a new Indiana Jones here. Now, if you read through the article, it basically says, hey, these are just rumors, but they're definitely going around. And then it does the same quote from the other one where it says there will only be one Indiana Jones, and that's Harrison Ford. Well, I would say that the one man saying that certainly doesn't speak for everybody at whatever studio that is that wants to make all the money that they would make from another Indiana Jones movie. That could just be one person who's very passionate about Harrison Ford. But my thought was, number one, I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones. Again, I still wouldn't really be looking to see that anytime soon. But Chris Pratt is someone I could see filling that role. If you read into the article a little bit, it talks a little bit about Disney Plus and the possibility of there being some sort of a series coming out at some point here. I think I would definitely be more open to seeing a Chris Pratt Indiana Jones series on something like Disney Plus or whatever than I would be to see Chris Pratt at the helm of the Indiana Jones franchise like 3 years from now, when Harrison Ford's hopefully still alive. I would certainly be a less big fan of seeing him taking over the whole thing than to see them start a completely different branch of like a new show, but having him play that character. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know. What do you think? There even needs to be another Indiana Jones movie with Harrison Ford?
I think that's a really, really good question. Jared Latersky said Crystal Skull 2. I think that's kind of the first thought on everyone's mind is like, is it going to be another Crystal Skull? Because, God, as much as I love Indiana Jones and as big a part as that played in my childhood, good Lord, that movie was really just not good.
I didn't watch the Crystal Skull, full disclosure.
You didn't?
I can't attest to its either positive or negative.
Okay, so what does the chat have to say about that? Should Adam watch it? I think most of us at least will agree that it is not good. But should Adam still take the time to watch it?
Is it bad because of Shia LaBeouf? Because I like Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I don't think Shia LaBeouf ruined it. I just think that the movie wasn't good. I mean, that's really kind of what it came down to for me. David Acker says you should watch it. Now, I don't know. And I knowing Coach Dave, I don't know if he's just being... okay, he followed it up immediately with a comment of saying torture yourself. So I don't know how serious he's been. Daniel Oldenkamp says, yes, it is still worth watching.
Roach says it wasn't any good. Cameron says, Adam, love yourself. Don't watch it. Terry says, don't watch it. So bad. All right. Wow. So, dumpster fire it is, huh?
See, I'm one of those that, like, while, again, 100% will say it was not a good movie. I don't know that I would tell you just to flat out not watch it. I think appreciating the franchise, it's still worth a watch, but you need to go into it anticipating it not being great. Now, is it an awful movie that's just not enjoyable? No. What were we talking about on a previous episode where it's like, it's enjoyable, you just got to turn your brain off before you go into it. It's kind of one of those.
Okay.
So if you go into it with the expectation
don't look too much into it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be disappointed by this, and maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. You'll probably enjoy it a lot more, as opposed to many of us who watched it and were like, what the hell is this garbage? Far less than impressed, So I'd say at least give it a chance. You probably won't like it. But oh well. Finally, in Indiana Jones news here, Bethesda is making an Indiana Jones game. And the thing I like here is that the subheadline of this article is from the studio behind Wolfenstein. When you think of Bethesda, is Wolfenstein the first thing that you think of?
That is not my go-to, no.
So yeah, interesting. But yeah, Bethesda is making an Indiana Jones game. It says, while we don't know anything about the title just yet, the announcement was simply a brief teaser video being developed by Machine Games. While the details are slim, Disney says that the game will be a wholly original standalone tale set at the height of the career of the famed adventurer. And the teaser video hints that the game will take place in Rome. I think it may have. Yeah, here we'll click this and we will kill the audio so it doesn't destroy anything, and we'll do that so everybody can watch it. So this is the little teaser video that they put out. But I, for one, would love to play an Indiana Jones game.
The fact that it's being a Bethesda game is curious. Is this going to be like a first-person perspective, like a la Elder Scrolls, where he's just holding the whip, you know, and you whip like that? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm interested to see what comes of that. Now, it's very early, obviously, in the process. So who the heck knows, where this is going to wind up. But I'm intrigued. I would love to play it. Now, you mentioned, what was it, Last Crusade on the NES, which I had stated I've never played. I think of the Indiana Jones games, the one that stands out the most to me is the arcade game for Temple of Doom. Or is it Temple of Doom? It's an arcade game, I'll just say that. But local pizza place had it. Played the crap out of it. The voice acting in it, I'm pretty sure it's actually Harrison Ford. And then you have some of the other voices come in from the movie and stuff like that. You got Mola Ram scaring the crap out of everybody, ripping hearts out of people's chests and whatnot. Pretty freaking cool stuff. I loved that game. Who doesn't love that? I mean, let's go.
Right. Did you ever get to play that one?
I didn't get to play that one.
Yeah, you got like the mine carts.
Never played Last Crusade.
See, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. What's that game like?
Well, there's two versions of it, which I come to find out when I bought the emulator that I use now. But the one that I remember,
you mean legally bought the cartridge, Adam? Right?
Legally bought the cartridge. I had the game. I had the game growing up. It was like a childhood thing, memory. It was like one of the 10 games that we owned. But it's got a couple different types of like gameplay in it. There's like mainly platforming, but then there's like I think there's a driving level in there somewhere. But it's like I could never get past the castle part as a kid. You remember that part where he like goes to the castle and rescues his dad,
right,
and like, turning fireplace? Well, this is like a maze trying to go through and find all the spots, and I, for one, could never get through it. But now, as an adult, I've gone through. I have the magic of the internet. It's actually a pretty quick beat game if you know what you're doing. And at the end of the last part of the game is you have to do like the little trial where you're like walking on the letters to spell God's name.
Oh,
And
nice.
you get and then you get to you have to like choose the right grail out of like a list of all these different cups and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
But in
Definitely
Latin, Jehovah starts with an I.
Jehovah starts with an I.
J falls through the hole. Oh my god. Yeah, because and that scene always got me. I mean, there's so many horrific parts of the ending of that movie, but like that part always got me because like he steps through it and he falls through and you see it's like this chasm down underneath there, and I'm like, oh, that's like one of my nightmares. Just like the idea. Oh god, yeah, that freaks me
just
out.
like endless falling, you mean?
Yeah, just endless falling like that. And it's like it's one of those things where like you would be falling for long enough to experience every bit of it and be fully aware of what was going on. It's like if I'm going to take a fall and die from it, I just want to have it be a short fall.
Right. Well, and plus, since it's all dark all around you, you never know when the bottom's coming. So
right.
Like any second now, my face is gonna explode like a watermelon.
Yeah.
Not
a fan. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm there with you. It's pretty rough, actually.
Regardless.
But also the blind leap of faith at the end, though. Think about that.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that part was pretty cool. And then like he throws the little pebbles out on it or whatever. That was pretty wild stuff.
That's pretty smart thinking right there.
I was like, yeah, that's the bro move right there. The positive bro. Positive bro.
The positive bro move, for sure. Anyway.
So yeah, long story short, I would love to play an Indiana Jones game. Adam, can you tap your camera? It's like consistently going further and further out of focus, I think.
You want me to tap it? What?
There you go. Like something just to make it, well, I guess I kind of did it. So, I would love to play an Indiana Jones game, and I hope that happens soon, and that it's a great game. Because, yeah, I love Indiana Jones, and I want to play an Indiana Jones game. So, simple as that.
Am I still blurry?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's just all the beers you guys are drinking.
Adam's been sharing his beers with his camera. When we were talking about tonight's show, this was the article that seemed to excite Adam the most. Burger King going back to a retro logo. And they got this fabulous picture here of the Burger King logo from my childhood. I mean, when I think of Burger King, this is the logo that I think of. And then it's got like, the thing I like here is it's got like the wrappings on like the burgers and I'm assuming that's a breakfast. Yeah, it's got to be a breakfast burrito, tender crisp sandwich. On the breakfast burrito wrapper, it says tasty eggy.
It does say that.
On one of the burgers, it says melty juicy. So, not sure what that means, but okay. Burger King is apparently going through an identity refresh, using colors inspired by its real and delicious food, quote unquote. The fast food chain unveiled Thursday a retro-influenced new identity that includes a redesigned yet recognizable logo. And it shows here the before and after. We got the old logo, I guess old logo being the new logo, and the new logo is the old logo, one on the right there. So customers will notice colors that are rich and bold on its signage with a new and custom-made font called Flame. Yeah, anyways. And then it goes on talking about, and then here we got pictures of people who work at Burger King, possibly. And I guess the guy on the right's just a fan, or maybe somebody from the photo studio who just wandered on set, possibly, with a couple of Burger King employees. But,
wandered on set.
he's like, I just really like Burger King, okay?
I want to wear the crown. The crown or I'm walking.
The crown or I'm walking. The look will extend to its employees, who will wear clothing that mixes contemporary and comfortable style with distinctive colors and graphics. Actual employees are featured in its new ads and promotional pictures. So I guess he is an employee, but still, he's wearing a t-shirt and the paper crown. What the heck? But its redesigned packaging highlights the new logo, includes playful illustrations of ingredients and adjectives that describe the food like crispy and tasty. So, Adam, what excited you so much? And eggy, apparently, because that's a thing. So.
I don't know, when you told me about that, my mind immediately went to like how Pizza Hut's doing the exact same thing.
Right.
And like, I feel like both companies are kind of struggling companies at the moment, so they're trying to like tap back into the old nostalgia vibes. I mean, even like Pizza Hut's new commercials now have like Daryl from The Office sitting in an old retro Pizza Hut with like the buffet, like the old lights and like the buffet table almost looking in the background, like the plastic cups that you all remember and that we all fondly reminisce about. And
the red plastic cups, they have the red ones?
I mean, I don't quote me that for certain, but I feel like that it has that. But anyway, just another take on a company trying to tap back into its old customer fan base by kind of going in a retro fashion.
Yeah,
fashion is like retro's the new cool. You know?
Exactly. And that was kind of what got what made me want to talk about this tonight was, well, first of all, what you had mentioned, the fact that we're seeing the exact same thing from Pizza Hut right now Also, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen Radio Shack, which I didn't even know the Radio Shack still existed. But like I've seen ads for Radio Shack popping up in my Facebook feed, selling like merchandise with the old Radio Shack logo on it. It's like, hey, if nobody's buying universal remotes or batteries from us anymore, at least we can sell shirts with our old retro logo to old guys like Steve who are gonna gobble crap like that up, because literally every time I see one of those I think, oh, I want one so bad. So
isn't like Supreme basically like that now too?
I don't know, that's a good question.
I feel like Supreme doesn't even really make anything anymore, but all their stuff is basically like their logo on merchandising now. Like, I could be wrong about that too, but
yeah, I don't know. I think it's just an interesting move to see people just consciously making these steps to throw back to, well, you know, in this case, a really old logo. I feel like they've got to be trying to tap into that nostalgia bug, you know. It's kind of the cool thing to be retro at the moment, at least in some ways. But it kind of makes me question like what the motivation is behind that, other than just a brand shakeup. And they probably literally had to pay nothing to get the logo and everything going, because it's like, yeah, we still got the PDFs from, I got the JPEGs from back in the day, you know. What
the JPEG?
And we got a wrapper that says Eggy on it now. It's the lowest cost sort of rebranding you can possibly think of.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know, Pizza Hut had a warehouse somewhere full of those red plastic cups.
Oh man, takes me back.
Been trying to find a use for those for years, right?
Right, now we couldn't give them away before, but now all of a sudden everybody wants one.
We found a use for them, boss. It's really more about repurposing. This isn't really a rebranding. They're just trying to get rid of all their old crap.
Pizza Hut has taken us on a culinary yard sale.
We got a culinary yard sale. You know, it's funny. Hey, I'd be in for it. The old days of Pizza Hut. That was the glory days of the pizza place. I mean, it's like, what in the world could they have possibly improved upon that? Number one, the pizza was actually good. Number two, classy buffet with the brass railing and stuff around the outside. Three, video arcade games. Yeah, sign me up for that any day of the week. Good Lord. Why is everybody not doing that?
Oh yeah, best believe you. If you don't think I'm walking out there with a whole set of red cups from the Pizza Hut yard sale, you've lost your mind.
Yeah, I would definitely go be
out of those red cups.
Be stealing a few of those for myself. So yeah. Chris says perhaps the pizza wasn't better. Maybe our standards are greater now. I don't know, man. Pizza Hut pizza. I can't think of how many years it's been since I've had a good Pizza Hut pizza. Good Lord.
Don't ruin my childhood memories with sense and logic, Chris.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to shout out a few followage flexes here. Pete Young Sabetke with 514 days. Daniel Oldenkamp, 897 days. And Jared Latursky, 118 days. Appreciate the followage, friends. Thank you so much for that. So, yeah, I owe all of you guys a super old Pizza Hut pizza red cup, which I wish I had myself. So, thanks a lot for that.
So thanks a lot for that.
Mandalorian star Pedro Pascal uses bedroom voice for Din Djarin. So first of all, Adam, how awesome is The Mandalorian?
Are you nagging on me because I haven't seen it again?
Hey, wait, have you not seen it? Still?
We talked about this. I still haven't seen it.
Well, yeah, but Adam, it's been like 3 weeks since our last show. That's like so much time. I'm gonna give you a month of free Disney Plus, just because I love you and you need to experience The Mandalorian. So, wow. So a whole lot of these references are gonna be lost on you. So I'm gonna go ahead and read a little bit of this, and we may have to move on pretty quickly from this.
Read away. My feelings aren't gonna be hurt. I never have any time to watch TV anyway. So I mean, plus the internet spoiled pretty much everything there is to possibly spoil about it. So I think you're good. That's
funny. Long story short, Pedro Pascal, who is the voice of the Mandalorian, it's kind of creepy for him when people want him to do the Mandalorian voice out in the real world, because we'll just kind of say that's his sexy voice. So he's like, it's different when you're in the helmet. When you're not in the helmet, it sounds like I'm trying to do it with you. So
interesting.
I thought that was pretty interesting, but yeah, no, Mandalorian, so freaking good. Everyone in the chat, sound off if you're loving the Mandalorian. Really, really great show. Kind of brings us to our next point here. The Mandalorian, this article says the Mandalorian should not be in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Do you know what Galaxy's Edge is, Adam?
I don't.
Okay, it's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the Star Wars portion of the Disney World theme park. Now, that being said, I just thought it was, this is the Star Wars area. But no, this thing is actually like Star Wars canon. Like it's set in a specific date and time. And it's basically like when you go there, and I'm trying to summarize here so we don't have to read this whole article, but like essentially you're experiencing that point in time in the Star Wars universe, which sounds pretty cool. I mean, I'm already on board anyways, just because it's Star Wars in theme park form. I mean, right? Would you like to go see Star Wars in theme park form, Adam?
Probably, yeah. If I could get around to all of the people that will probably also be there, I would love it a lot more. But yeah, I'd probably entertain it for sure.
If I could stomach the BO, it's like, that would be a great week to have COVID and lose your sense of smell. But on the downside, you would have to have COVID, and you probably wouldn't be allowed into the park.
I wouldn't be allowed in. Yes.
But basically, here's the problem is this: the time period does not line up with the current events of The Mandalorian. Season 2 of The Mandalorian ended just a few short years after Return of the Jedi. Galaxy's Edge exists decades after that. If Disney puts Din Djarin or Grogu in Galaxy's Edge, it's either A, an admission of their whereabouts after the events of the show, or B, a total reboot of the intentions of the park. To which, here I go, I can bring this picture up because it's a really cool picture of the Millennium Falcon. It's like, my question about that topic is this. What is your opinion here? Could we just enjoy The Mandalorian in the theme park? Is it really that important for it to be historically accurate? Or not historically accurate, but historically accurate for the Star Wars
to be like a lore accurate, I suppose is what you're saying.
Because basically what they're saying, the problem that it creates is that it screws with the lore, because the Mandalorian doesn't exist at the same point in time that Galaxy's Edge is set to exist in. So do we just not experience the Mandalorian at Disneyland, or is it important, or is it really that important to stay true to the canon of Star Wars?
I think the general thought process behind your average person that's going to pay admission price to go see that isn't going to care about 100% lore accurate. I mean, that's like stuff that like lore nerds do, and don't make that sound like that's derogatory, because I'm very lore nerd about shit myself. Because I get that, like, there's always like the actuallys, like, yeah, those do exist. But come on, is it going to provide an overall better experience for people that want to come and see all things Star Wars and not like Well, technically you can't. I mean, like, we've got bigger stuff to worry about. Let us have fun in the fun places without
Right.
dissecting something that was made up in the first place, right? We're not really talking about history here, like.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me Star Wars isn't real?
But like at the same time, like, I get it though. If there was like a Lord of the Rings, park or whatever, and they try to put stuff from the Silmarillion in there or something, like, I'm already giving away my nerddom really
yeah, right.
badly.
As soon as the S word came out of your mouth, everyone was like, nerd alert.
But if they're like trying to put stuff like that in there, then yeah, I would probably be that. I would be that guy. Like, how are you gonna have, Morgoth, and and all this, yeah. But like, would that stop me from going and appreciating it? Like, absolutely not. So I think the general consensus is, let's just all enjoy Star Wars for being Star Wars and not get caught up on the yearbook.
Gotcha.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion. It's not right. It's just my opinion.
See, my opinion is kind of option C, in that Disney really kind of screwed themselves by trying to be so canonically accurate in the first place.
I mean, I agree with you there.
Is that, like, if they would have thought, it's like, hey, there's gonna come a point where other stuff is gonna happen in the Star Wars universe, because we're gonna want to make a buttload of these movies so we can scoop up all the cash we possibly can.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good idea for us not to zero ourselves in on one particular moment in time for this universe. To me, how in the hell did they not think about that? That's what I want to know, because that's the first thing that would have come across my mind. And the thing that I think of in that is, like, when I was naming my streaming page. You got to think of all kinds of things when you go to naming a page, and I maybe not so much when I was naming the page, but years later, after having been in streaming for a few years, and that, like, there have been times where I regret having the name retro in my name, because it's like, man, I like playing stuff other than retro stuff. And anytime you play non-retro stuff as a retro page, people are like, what the hell? This is retro detro, man, So
yeah,
I kind of screwed myself in that, but lesson learned, but that was a really easy lesson, and I'm not being paid millions of dollars a year like these people at Disney. They kind of screwed themselves here by just putting themselves in this one little corner of the universe, and there's going to be this show is not the last thing that they're going to make. There's going to be other stuff that they're going to want to feature, and now it's either going to be they're forcing themselves to be canonically inaccurate, or they're just saying, like, well, we just want to do Star Wars, or obliterate what they have and scrap it and start over again, possibly. I don't know.
Right.
Which I think they could easily do.
They could easily do that, yeah.
And be like, well, Galaxy's Edge, that was back then. Now we're doing this other thing. And it's just a celebration of all things Star Wars. But, I mean, that's one thing interesting, though, is that, like, if they did, well, of course, I'm sure this would probably be really, really costly for them, but to just scrap the entire thing and make something now that's, like, totally Mandalorian focused or something, it's a really easy license to completely refresh that side of the park every few years whenever the next new thing happens. Because there's not going to be a Star Wars movie next year, and probably not one the year after that. So you got a good few years of Mandalorian crap, and just ride that wave while it's hitting hard. And then whenever the next thing comes out, you refresh the park, and then you still keep some of the Mandalorian stuff, but then you bring in some of the new stuff and whatever the heck,
Sounds like somebody needs to apply at Disney, am I right?
Am I right or am I right? Yeah, my email address, I'm going to put it here in the stream description here in a minute. So, all you rich and wealthy Disney folks, you can reach out to me at that address. So.
At this address.
Chat, let us know what you think about that. It says, if Adam likes The Village, he might not like The Mandalorian. The Village? What's that about, Adam?
They've been roasting me about liking the movie The Village this entire time we've been talking about
the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Yeah.
Adam, I'm going to come to your defense and say I like The Village too.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Village was an enjoyable movie, and screw anyone who thinks otherwise. So, all you SLG... No, I'm just joking.
Hey, wait, Steve, what are you doing?
I really enjoyed The Village, and the reason why I liked it is because I felt like it did so much with so little. You know, there's not a whole lot happening in that movie, but it really built a mood, and there was a tension that ran in through the entire thing. I really liked that movie. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like a top 5 or anything, but it was decent.
Actually, like, I did not see that coming. Like, I thought it was pretty refreshing at the time. It was a unique movie. Hasn't been another one like it. I felt like you said, like, I felt like there was tension throughout the whole movie with the monsters coming. What are they? What's the agenda? You know, and I don't know. I like The Village, and I stand by it.
Roach type person says we'll agree that there was very little to work with. I'm reading that maybe with a more negative tone than he meant it, but either way, it's making me laugh.
No, I think he meant it to be that way.
Yeah, but no, like I said, it definitely there was a mood that was created there, and it showed very little, but it built that tension through the entire thing. I thought the characters were interesting and intriguing, the setting, and it built upon that. Yeah, I think The Village is worth watching. If Adam can watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you guys can go back and give The Village a second watch, and maybe just try not to expect freaking what's it called? The Sixth Sense. Just don't go into it and expect The Sixth Sense, because you know that's why you didn't like it, is you were expecting The Sixth Sense 2, Electric Boogaloo, or
Electric Boogaloo,
Unbreakable 2, The Unbreaking, or something like that. No, it was a good movie, so all you guys just need to open up your hearts a little bit and just try to feel the joy. Feel the joy. That's all I gotta say. So,
thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Last little bit of Star Wars news here. Ubisoft to develop open world Star Wars game. After almost 8 years since EA claimed exclusive publishing rights, Lucasfilm Games announced that Ubisoft will develop a Star Wars game. On Monday, Disney announced that it would be releasing new games based on Lucasfilm properties under the Lucasfilm Games banner, a throwback to the classic developer later dubbed LucasArts. Remember the good old days of LucasArts? Good Lord, there was a lot of really great LucasArts games back in the day. While the announcement at first seemed small, it was later quickly followed by the announcement of an upcoming Indiana Jones game. Interesting! From Wolfenstein developer, Machine Games, and publisher Bethesda. Oh, maybe it's Machine Games. Okay, because yeah, I'm like, why? I don't think of Wolfenstein when I think of Bethesda, and in my mind, like, I'm silently thinking, I can't say this out loud so everyone doesn't judge me, but I'm like, what is Wolfenstein's tied to Bethesda? Because I don't know that Bethesda made Wolfenstein. Anyway, so anyways, long story short, looking to develop an open world Star Wars game. Thoughts? Positive? Negative? Want to play it? Don't really care?
I'm here for it. I kind of have a love and hate relationship with open world games in general. Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes just because something is huge and takes a lot of time to complete and all that doesn't necessarily make it a good game. So on that aspect, I would definitely have to play it first to really see. But I mean, I would give it a shot, you know.
Yeah,
it's kind of grandiose in scale, you know, like open world. Like, so is it gonna be like GTA style Star Wars? You know, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to see where that goes. Oh, I just noticed there was a comment on Retro Death Row by Dre Poirier who says, The Village was a failure in marketing. It was marketed as a horror movie, and it wasn't, and it made a lot of people upset. It's not a bad movie, damn it. So Dre Poirier, also a cool guy. As if we didn't already know that he was super cool. But, so now, open world Star Wars game, I would be down for that. Now, like you had said, open world games... For me also, though, I would say they're not really my cup of tea. It's just too much. I get overwhelmed in those games, but I'm also a retro gamer too, though. So, but I would definitely be down to try something like that, though, because I love the Star Wars universe, love Star Wars. I think it would be pretty cool to be able to experience or to have an open world Star Wars experience and really be able to explore the worlds. Because the thing I will say about Star Wars is that they really do create really vivid and vibrant worlds that I think would be fun to be able to explore and experience. So yeah, mark me down as interested for that one. It shows the picture. Sorry, what was that?
What point of the game do they have you running around collecting all of the Jedi symbols all around the city? You know,
right.
All of the other stupid shit that open world games make you do for like 100% completions, like go around the city and smell the farts of 5 different stormtroopers.
I think the sketchy website I bought this turtle from stole all my info.
You know, like, good lord, that's kind of one of my beefs with open world games. Is like, there's only so much good content before they start getting you into the ridiculous stuff that you have to do to, you know, do everything in the game.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to get sucked into those things, especially, I mean, like Breath of the Wild, I think is a really big one in finding all the Korok seeds. And while stuff like that is enjoyable, it's enjoyable in that when I'm playing those games, if I come across one, yeah, I'm going to do it. But I'm not going to spend hours and hours and hours looking for every single one of them. I'm just not that interested in it. Now, right. At the same time, of course, you know, me and my wife played Destiny 2, and we're way, way into it. She wants to get every triumph that is out there. She's very, very completionist. So she's someone, if she were into Breath of the Wild, who would be going after all the Korok seeds and whatnot. Now, to me, it's like, as long as I can have an enjoyable experience in the rest of the game, and me doing all of that crap is not integral to being able to just play and experience the game, then I'm cool with it. But when it comes to the point where I've got to do those things to advance the story, or I've got to do those things and I'm going to miss out on something,
right,
then I'm going to get annoyed.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Terry Thomas says 10 out of 10 would play. I agree, girlfriend. So we're going to, I think this is the last of the Disney related items that I have tonight. Not only Disney because of Star Wars and all that, but I'm going to play this video here and I'm going to turn off the sound. They're building Tron stuff at Disney World. This excites me because I watched Tron, the original, way back in the day as a kid, and it blew my mind. I was like, what? This is like watching, and of course you watch it now and it's like, what the hell is this? You know, but
what?
Take
that back.
Well, I mean, the effects and all that, it's like very, very rudimentary. But for the time,
effects are amazing still. Come on.
It's amazing stuff. But it's a great movie. And then was it Tron Legacy that came out several years ago? I really, really enjoyed Tron Legacy. I would love for there to be another Tron movie, and the fact that this is being built definitely gives me hope that could happen. So it sounds like you've watched the movie then. Did you watch Tron Legacy?
That's what I was going to ask you. I don't think I watched the newest one. Is that the one that's got like Jeff Bridges as the bad guy? Tron Legacy?
Yeah, I'll kind of agree to that. But he's not really the bad guy. I don't want to spoil the movie. I know the movie's several years old, but still.
I only watched the original one.
Only watch the original. Okay, you should watch Tron Legacy, which is the one that came out probably about 10 years ago, honestly. Oh, 10 years, huh? Timing for when this is being made. Anyway, I'm piecing stuff together in my head here, but the fact that Disney's
future. I said 10 years before you reboot. Now we get it.
Hey, there you go. It's about time, right? Jeff Bridges is still with us, by golly. I think he's fighting cancer right now, I want to say. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. Love The Big Lebowski. Love Tron. I would love to see a new Tron movie. But yeah, news of Tron stuff being built over at Disney definitely excites me because it gives me hope that there's new stuff that's going to be brought in for Tron. My biggest memory of Tron Legacy, at least, is the soundtrack. Daft Punk, they got to do the soundtrack for that movie. My son, how old was he? He latched onto that soundtrack, and ever since then, that kid has loved electronic music. Like, even earlier today, he and I were talking about it and stuff, and he's like, Dad, I want to start learning how to make this stuff and all that. And it's just like, I really credit a lot of that to Tron Legacy and how much he dug that soundtrack and loved Daft Punk and still does. And like I said, combine that with a couple of really great movies, I would love to see more out of that. So
I would definitely be down for another Tron movie. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to see what we could get out of that. Oh, Brittany Cedillo. Hey, how's it going, girlfriend? Send some stars. Spellcaster sends his love. 100 stars, girlfriend.
That old bastard. Tell Spellcaster we said hello. I do have his likeness right here on my desk, always governing my gaming abilities and giving me wisecracks from the sidelines. So, Spellcaster is indeed always with us here at SLG.
In our hearts.
Thank you, Brittany, for the 200 stars. You're awesome.
That is pretty cool. Very much appreciated, Brittany. Thank you so much for that. And appreciate you guys coming out tonight.
365-day followage right there, 2 days away.
Oh, nice. Dude, that's pretty crazy.
Send me the wizard, I'll send you more. Send me the...
I'm ready to crack open my second beer. I don't know about you, Adam, but no rush if you're not. I've got here on this one, New Belgium. This is a really classy looking one, and I've honestly never tried this one. Excuse me, so I don't have a lot to say about it. New Belgium 1554. It's in a really classy looking bottle with a classy looking label. It says Belgian Collection on it. I want to say it says something. A surprisingly bright taste and a dry, chocolatey finish, one evocative of dark brews enjoyed in Belgian taverns 500 years ago. And I was like, I love all of those things. So we're going to have some of that. So yeah.
Interesting. I'm familiar with New Belgium, but I haven't had that particular beer before.
Yeah, me neither. And I think we've talked about New Belgium before. I love New Belgium, but this is one I'd never had. And so I had to snag that up. What's up, Carlos Rodriguez? Welcome in here. Dre Poirier says he needs to watch Tron Legacy. Dre, I'm surprised you haven't. You really should. It's great. Adam says, keep my eye on the mail. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. But yeah, I love New Belgium. Oh my gosh. I'm drawing a blank on the name, the one that I like the best. It's got a picture of a bicycle on it.
Fat Tire?
Fat Tire. Yeah, I was like, why in the world can I not remember this? But yeah, that one's really, really good. And so, yeah, we'll give this thing a try. 1554, classy looking bottle and label.
Believe it or not, they had a chocolate chip cookie dough beer for a period of time.
This is lovely.
It was delicious.
This beer literally made me exclaim.
Oh, in a good way or a bad way?
No, in a very good way. This is awesome. Yeah. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say because yeah, I get that this isn't a show for children, but I want to keep it a little bit more PG than that.
Beer made me exclaim.
Whatever could I have been thinking of? Oh my gosh. But yeah, this is really good. Oh my gosh. Hold on, I'm gonna try some more of this here.
It's so good, he's going to dive right back in for seconds. Sloppy seconds.
Very rich and smooth. And I can definitely taste that chocolatey finish. Good Lord.
I think we just found Steve's new Belgium beer.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get some more of that. That is very good. Wow, that even made me lose my train of thought. Good gosh. So yeah,
well,
anyways.
Let me ask you, when you get these beers, do you like go to a beer place and like make your own 6-pack?
Yeah, that's usually what I like to do. We've got a local liquor store. It's like an emporium, like it's massive. And there's a ton of stuff to choose from there. So that's what I usually will like to do, is get a sampling of things so I can... I am not a wealthy man, so I can't afford to just go out and buy 6-packs of all of these. I wish I could, but no, I like to build my own.
Get it. I love the create your own 6-pack idea. First time I saw that, like my mind exploded. Like, what do you mean? I can just have one of these and then one of these and two of these if I really like those. You know, like it's a really good concept. I found a lot of good beers that way, by making the create your own 6-pack, because you've got one slot left in there and you're like, I've never heard of this one, why not?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of times where you're like, you see something and you're like, that sounds pretty good, but I'm not gonna spend $8 or $9 only to find out that it's no good, like especially if it's something that's way off the beaten path for you.
Yeah, right. Like I don't, this looks good, but I don't know if I want to commit to a whole 6er of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the build your own 6-pack. Fantastic idea. Whoever came up with that deserves a kiss on the lips. So,
yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna
use that in the future, though. This beer has made me exclaim.
This made me exclaim. Yeah, don't clip that. No, there was okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to say this. There was this comedian, I forget who it was, but he was talking about like reading old books and how they used different terms than what we would use today. And it's like reading an old Hardy Boys book. You ever hear of the Hardy Boys?
Of course.
Okay. So like what kid back in the day, of course, I don't know if kids nowadays have heard of Hardy Boys, good Lord, but anyways, Hardy Boys books. To exclaim, another word you could use for that and would be using it correctly would be to ejaculate. It doesn't only mean the other thing. So he was joking about like reading a Hardy Boys book, and he's like, "Look out, Tom ejaculated." and he's like, "Whoa!" He's like, "This is the Hardy Boys."
He said, "Look out!"
Hey, at least he gave him a heads up, right?
He gave him a heads up. Oh my god.
So before we go into this next article, I want to remind everyone that this show will never take a political stance and doesn't care about any of that crap, so let's stay humane here. But I had to talk about this. Biden has Trump's Diet Coke button removed. I did not know this existed. Former President Donald Trump no longer has his finger on the button. Joe Biden, who took office Wednesday, reportedly got rid of the button Trump used to order Red Alert Diet Coke in the Oval Office. Apparently, there was a button that former President Trump could press, and at a moment's notice, someone would come in serving an ice-cold Diet Coke to him on a platter.
Wow.
And...
that's service.
It's funny because people were like, oh, the nerve and how his entitlement. And to me, I'm like, dude, don't even. If you weren't the leader of the free world, you can't tell me you wouldn't have a button that you could press and get insert item here delivered to you at a moment's notice. Don't even, girlfriend, tell me that you wouldn't do that. So my question to you, Adam, is what would you have delivered to you at a moment's notice at the push of a button if you could?
Like beverage item? As in, like, a la Diet Coke?
I'm
world?
saying, I'm throwing open the floodgates, dude.
Anything on demand. Wow. Man, that's a loaded question. Anything on demand. I'm trying to think of something that would not, like, if like a food item that doesn't make me sound like a raging, like, I want to order a 50 chicken wings anytime I want, you know, or something like
Why
that.
are you saying that like it's a horrible thing?
I'm not.
Because that's what my button's going to be. I was going to pick something else, but now that is going to be what I want with my button. Is I want a buttload of delicious chicken wings, and I don't want any sass while I'm getting them.
Any sass.
Don't at me.
Don't at
Give me my
Just
50
bring
chicken
the
wings. That's
we
what
want
I
them now.
Chris Tendo said he wants a Hawaiian Punch drinking fountain.
Ooh. That is a strong dedication to Hawaiian Punch.
So Adam, what is it, like a vodka and spring water, or isn't that what you're on these days, or something? Or
Vodka and spring water.
Or some limp French fries at the push of a button.
Hot to the touch.
Hot, flaccid
you
fries for our boy
that
Adam. That's what he wants.
You don't tell it right. Adam and his ketchup button. Art, you're a monster. Stop.
So what do you want, Adam? You got now. Just bear in mind as you answer. This is not the answer we're going to hold you to for the rest of your life. So,
right. I'm just trying to think of something that I would accurately want for all the time. I don't know. We'll go with Modelo Chiladas and a shot of Tito's. Bam. Lock it
Modelo Chiladas and a shot of Tito's. Wow, that's cool.
Yep.
We'll say that's all right. Chat, what do you guys want at the push of a button here? I want to see what you guys would have at the press of a button here. Chris Tendo wants the Hawaiian Punch, I think, is where he's going to go. Man, what would I want at the push of a button? Man, chicken wings does not sound bad.
Nacho cheese fountain.
Nacho cheese. Dang. I'm going to go for hot pretzel sticks with some spicy cheese to dip them in. And I'm going for the pretzel sticks because I could just have like a couple of them. I don't have to eat an entire like big ass pretzel because Lord knows I'd be dead in a week if I got that. But yeah, some hot spicy cheese to dip them in, hot pretzel with the butter and the big old grains of salt on top of it. Yeah, give me that button and don't at me. Because that's
Steve, I've been drinking protein shakes for dinner for the past 3 months. Could you please stop talking about hot spicy cheese and fresh baked pretzels?
Delicious carbs.
Come on, you're killing me.
Oh my gosh. Terry Thomas says glitter. You want glitter at the push of a button? You need to aim higher, girlfriend.
Mort ran for vice president and said his button would be swamp juice.
Ooh, well, Brittany says carne asada fries. I didn't even know that existed. But that sounds fabulous.
He said Mort's button would be swamp juice. If you know Mort, you know that Mort loves his swamp juice. It's a double all the time. Double swamp juice right from the deep end. That's how he likes it.
Double swamp juice. So, swamp juice. I'm kind of imagining that's the sort of drink that would have a little something across the top, you know?
Something across the top, like a garnish.
Like I'm not thinking like a foamy head or anything like that, but there's going to be something across the top. You got a drink called swamp juice.
Served with a skewered newt. Or something.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, roasted on a tiny little spit, and it's just lays across the top of the glass. Yeah, there you
go. That's it.
Real classy, like.
Yep. It's what you get at the best swamp hole bar that you go to.
Wait, Terry says that everyone in the Oval Office would be covered in glitter all the time. That's why she wants glitter. And it would be eco glitter. So she is at least being environmentally conscious and responsible. So, okay. All right. I dig that, girlfriend.
I also want to think, like, if I'm going non-food or beverage, I would like my wallet on demand. Because if you've ever, it would be a toss-up. Maybe, like, can I include my wallet and phone? Because if you ever lose those items, it's panicking to ever get them back. So if I could have a button where I just push it and then my phone and wallet come up, bam, definitely choosing that.
And honestly, that I can't be mad at that choice because that's a pretty solid choice. And you're right, man. Those are things that once lost are a nightmare to find, and
Your
you
day
never in the moments when you can't find them, it's always when you need them right that second. And then the things that are catastrophic to not have. So
yes, it is the worst.
Not a bad choice there. Let's see, Chris Tendo. I love a nice cold Mr. Pibb extra. Brittany said those carne asada fries, which again, man, I'm still thinking about. Oof, man.
Still thinking about.
For real, that sounds glorious. There's a place here in town that does Kung Pao fries, which, like, you know, who would have thought to combine those things? But it's like spicy Asian fries. Good Lord, they're delicious.
Is it Kung Pao like with peanuts or something? Does it like have like traditionally served with like a peanut sauce or something like that?
It does have a sauce, but no, I think you might be thinking of cashew chicken, because that has like a cashew sauce. But then also like General Tso's has a sauce that's like, it's very famous.
I'm well versed in General Tso's.
They also, that same place has General Tso's fries as well, and those are also delicious. But yeah, I never knew an idea like that was even possible, and lo and behold, came across it one day. So very, very good. Was it crazy Mike's, Twisted Mike's, something like that? Yeah, pretty good stuff. My brother said Auntie Anne's cinnamon sugar pretzel. I welcome the flavor of sweet rapid death.
I mean, those Auntie Anne pretzels are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
I haven't been in the mall in probably 2 years. I went into one recently, and that's the first thing I smelled was Auntie Anne's pretzels. Oh,
so
wow.
Do you remember the article that I told you that I had to show you if we couldn't get it working? While we're on the subject of food, I think this is a nice tie-in because we're talking about a lot of delicious foods. Now let's talk about something that's not. And I present to you. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I got it. It's up on
I present to you the Spam Burger from McDonald's, topped with Oreo cookie crumbs. That's right, everyone. There is no God. This exists. Spam Burger with Oreo cookie crumbs in China.
The first thing I think of when I see that is that the people who made that are like, yeah, this is what Americans eat, right? Spam covered with cookies. That's why they're all so fat, you know. Wow.
Yeah, they're like, oh, come on, you love cookies.
That is crazy.
Does that not look like the grossest thing you could possibly order from anywhere?
I thought it was delicious, said a comment signed Feifei Mao Enthusiast on the Sino Weibo microblog service. I probably read 3 of those words correctly. Is that because I love McDonald's too deeply? Or is something wrong with my taste? It says, sandwich is made from 2 slices of Spam, a product of Hormel Foods LLC, and Mondelez International's Oreo cookies topped with mayonnaise.
Oreo cookies and mayonnaise.
Wow.
Oh, God.
And there's a really great ad for bras down here in the corner. Let's get rid of that here. Get out of here, bra lady. We're reading about Spam and Oreos. Jeez.
When you hate someone but you have to invite them to dinner, you can ask him to eat McDonald's Oreo lunch meat burger. Set a separate comment on Cena Weibo.
I wish I could get one. I would definitely try it. I know it would be awful. I know it would be awful, but I would love to try that.
I can't wrap my brain around Oreos and mayonnaise. Like, who hurt you to do that? Like, next time you feel like you want to try it, dip an Oreo in mayonnaise and let me know how that works out for you. Because that sounds utterly awful.
How high do you think the person was that came up with that?
Too high. Either too high or not high enough. It's not the good high.
I was going to make a burger, and then I got high.
Jeez. Like, and then to make it marketable enough that it actually makes it to concept, you know? Like, it's incredible.
For real, man. That is some weird, wild stuff. Good Lord.
That is some wild stuff right there.
Well, they're rolling hard with this bra ad. Good Lord, people. Switching the screen back.
It's Huffington Post. What do you want? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like, buy our bras, please. Oh my gosh, that is some crazy stuff, man. Where did you even find that? Oh, Huffington Post. I'm sorry. Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, that's crazy. This isn't
Art
really. What was that?
He said you're gonna give me an Oreo and mayo at work the next time. I work with Art, and he was the one that says I'd try it at least once. Well, then you should be the one eating the mayonnaise dipped Oreo, sir, not me. Tell you what, I'll bring you in a can of Spam. We can make it right here in the restaurant.
I'll bring you in a can of Spam.
Try it. Yep. Where there's a will, there's a way.
So this is not really a discussion topic, but since we're just sharing things, I'm going to share this too. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this. It's a service called Hunt a Killer. Have you ever heard of this, Adam? Hunt a Killer? It's basically
I think so, actually.
It's a subscription box where you pay however much money a month, and every month they send you a box of stuff where you basically solve an actual murder that took place at some point in history. So it's some friends of ours have done it. They said it was a lot of fun because, you know, they like murder mystery shows or movies or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we should give this a try. And they thought it was really, really cool. I joined their group on Facebook at one point and just never left. And honestly, it stopped showing up in my news feed until just this week. And I'm so glad that it did. Because this comment came up. Someone posted this. I should blur out their name, but oh well. I hear there is an app. What's it called? So no punctuation or anything, first of all. And I'm like, well, an app, what? And it doesn't even describe it. But then when you scroll into the comments, they're like, oh, I found it. And then it shows a picture. The app is called Hunt a Killer.
No.
You're paying a monthly charge for a subscription service where you hunt killers. You couldn't find the app that was named after the service that you used to hunt killers.
You purchased it from?
So, like, I commented on this post, and shockingly, my comment got moderated into oblivion. I was like, are you serious? You couldn't find the app that's named after the thing that you're paying for? And then, like, I was like, here's all the killers you should be hunting, and it was a gift of this guy running, and it's like, freedom! But yeah, I woke up the next morning and the comment had like 1 billion reactions, but then it got deleted. So I was like,
it got moderated into hell.
how can you? I just
cannot find it.
It makes no sense. It's like, how can you? Oh, Terry says she did hunt a killer. Terry, you're gonna have to comment. Tell us what your experience was with it, because I still think it sounds like fun. But yeah, I'm gonna just say a prayer for any killers that this lady was hunting because more than likely they're still roaming free, if you know what I'm saying.
If you know what I mean. Wow, that was wonderful. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, really kind of baffling when I come across it. So while we're in the mood of sharing random articles, here's another one. I love the headline. Prehistoric teeth hint at Stone Age sex with Neanderthals.
Stone Age sex with Neanderthals.
And I read the headline and I'm like, first of all, you had me at sex with the Neanderthals.
Oh, yeah.
But it says here, prehistoric teeth hint at Stone Age sex with Neanderthals. So I'm just like, well, wait, so they found evidence on their teeth that exposed information of their sexual habits? What in the world is happening here? Or I just could not piece anything together from that headline. But the Stone Age sex with Neanderthal. If I start another band ever again, it's going to be called Stone Age sex with Neanderthals.
Sex with Neanderthals?
100%. I called it. None of you guys try to claim that on me.
I called it.
So yeah, back off Stone Age sex with Neanderthals because...
Does it give you any type of like form of reference as how they're coming to these conclusions?
Well, the long and the short of it, and it's a very long... Oh, actually, no, I need to go back over to the page here. This is the Neanderthal guy that it shows us like, oh, look at that guy. He looks so sad. But no, it basically... And I have to admit that this part in that, like, I'm a little stupid here. Not quite as stupid as not being able to find the app called Hunt a Killer when you're using the Hunt a Killer service.
Hunt a Killer. Yeah.
But I was like, wait, hey, humans and Neanderthals aren't the same thing? But basically they're saying that there's evidence of human and Neanderthal relations having taken place and creating offspring. We'll just say that Tom from the Hardy Boys showed up.
Look out! What did you say? What were we talking about last week? We're talking about android coitus. This is Neanderthal coitus.
Dude, you literally made me cough there. Oh my gosh, Android coitus, yeah. Android coitus. Yeah. Wow. We may have bottomed out here.
It finally hit our stride, folks.
Do you want to hear a Steve gripe?
I was going to ask you if there was any Steve gripes this week.
Okay. I do have one here. And some of you guys may have experienced this. I'm sure many of you have experienced this before, as I have. And I tell you, this is something that has bothered me for years. You go to the grocery store. You get all the stuff that you need. You go to the checkout line. You're checking out. The inevitable question: do you want your milk in a bag? Hate that question. Why are you asking me if I want my milk in a bag? I've got a billion other items here that all have to go in bags. Why are you only asking me about that one item? Well, because it has a handle on it. No.
Got a handle on it, Steve.
No. No, don't even ask me that. Because, and if it was laundry detergent, I may accept that question at that point. But you know what happens with milk as soon as it leaves the store and gets in the back of your car? It starts sweating. And it gets condensation all over the outside of it. You stick that in your car, you stick that on the floorboard of your car, heaven forbid, is going to pick up every bit of disgusting dead skin cells, crap off the bottom of your shoe, that thumbnail that you bit off a week ago, crap from your yard, it's all going to be caked on the outside of that freaking jug of milk because of the condensation that happens not seconds after you leave that store. So, no, I don't want my milk in a bag. How dare you even ask me in the first place? At first, I felt guilty about saying, yeah, go ahead and put it in a bag. But at this point, no, I feel no guilt about asking you to put my milk in a bag. But the thing that happens afterwards makes me even more angry.
Buckle up.
When you tell them, yes, you would like your milk in a bag, do you think they put your milk in a bag, Adam?
Like, if I tell them yes, do I think that they still do it?
They put your milk in a bag, but they don't. No, they don't put your milk in a bag. They put your milk in like 3 bags. 2 bags, at least.
2 bags. 2 bags for sure. Yeah.
So is the question about whether or not I want to save the environment or not? Or is the question about whether I just prefer holding the milk by the handle? Because if the question is about saving the environment, why is the milk going in 2 bags minimum from that point forward?
And so your milk doesn't fall through and bust all over the floor.
I said I didn't want to have crap all over the outside of my milk. I didn't say that I wanted to destroy the environment by having 2 or 3 bags. I wanted 1 bag. 1 bag is sufficient.
2 bags are required to support the weight of an object such as milk, which is the reason why there's the built-in handle.
That is also not correct. Coming from someone who spent several years working in a grocery store in my high school years. A plastic sack, as long as the milk isn't haphazardly put in it, can easily support an entire jug of milk without
haphazardly put into it,
without tearing out the bottom of the bag. So you ask if I want a milk in the bag, and then when I say I want the milk in the bag, I get the milk in multiple bags instead. So it's like, what is the question really about? I don't know that the question really means anything, because the question isn't about saving the environment. Is the question about saving them the effort of putting it in the bag? If it's like, hey man, I really don't feel like putting this in the bag, I would respect that a lot more than would you like your milk in the bag? Or is the question about making me feel bad? Is that what you're trying to... If I never heard that question again,
wow,
I would tip everyone that I come into contact with at the grocery store.
I stand by the 2 bag on the milk though, because I have had a bag or a gallon of milk fall through a bag and bust on the floor before. That has literally happened.
See, but I understand that is a possibility. And as someone who's telling them that I don't want my milk in the bag, I'm accepting responsibility for what happens afterwards.
You are, yes.
And I'm okay with that. And if my milk gets destroyed, hey, it's my fault for only asking for 1 bag. But I'm only asking for 1 bag. I don't want a whole ton of bags. I don't want 2 bags or 3 bags or... Oh my gosh, the milk in the bag.
I feel like that they're trained to put objects like that into 2 bags. Like in their employment training, they're probably told that.
That is quite possibly true. And I would never begin to fault the people.
You know,
I guarantee you the person who's working in the checkout line and is sacking the groceries and stuff is the last person who's making that decision. You're correct. It's probably their boss or someone who's hey, be sure to ask them if they want their milk in a bag, because we need to save the fraction of a penny that we can save them not wanting that bag, or we need to CYA by having the milk in 2 bags. So no.
I like how you're coming at it like from the angle that they're just being a dick, like, hey man, do you want your milk in a bag? Yes, please. Now you're gonna get like 6 bags.
Oh yeah.
Tough guy over here can't carry the milk by himself. We need 6 bags.
Oh my gosh, the milk in the bag. I'll never understand. But yeah, I know. Caitlin says, Soda Bro Raid, 10 stars. Soda Bro Raid.
Gaming. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Our
you
boy
guys.
Steve over there at Soda Bro. Thank you. We're in the middle of talking about bagged gallons of milk.
AKA, you may not be able to handle the level of entertainment that's coming at you in this podcast.
So you guys came at just the right time, is what we're saying.
Primo content here, people.
Right here, right now.
So yeah, hate the milk in the bag question.
All right, fair enough.
Did you say you had some questions?
I have the usual 3 articles.
Okay.
If you would like to guess some articles.
Yeah, I would love to.
All right. So let's get to the first one. Let me send you the link first. There we go. Quality content coming your way right now. So, my question for this headline is: 2 fishermen in Australia rescued this that was perched on a tree branch over a known alligator habitat. Was it A, a family of sea otters that couldn't escape? B, a fellow fisherman that had capsized and climbed to safety? C, a large stash of alcohol and lingerie that had been left at an unknown time? Or D, a naked fugitive who had gotten too drunk on New Year's and got lost? Two fishermen in Australia rescued this that was perched on a tree branch over a known alligator habitat. You must be really in thought about this.
Oh, sorry, my mic got muted. I apologize. I'm going for naked fugitive because I saw the article come in the messenger.
I guess I should wait to send you the article until after I.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. But I do need to hear what happened here. This sounds pretty amazing.
Okay, so what happened? What had happened was.
What happened was.
2 fishermen rescued a naked fugitive who had been there for, I feel like it was a day or two, and this was right after New Year's. He was covered in mud, cuts, and insect bites, and said that he had been lost for 4 days. He survived by eating snails and had used his clothes for bits and pieces over the way.
Oof.
Right? So then they're obviously like, oh my god, we need to help this guy. So this guy literally said that he had made a nest up in a tree and was only laying a meter above the water, and there were crocs in the water, so he's done well to survive. So they called somebody to come get him, and I love how the guy said it. He looked like he needed a beer, although he was in a bad way. Could you imagine, like, you know, you're spending four days over croc-infested waters, and you're naked because you've used all of your clothes and you've ate snails, and, you know... He just looked like he really needed a beer.
Right.
I think he probably needs a lot more than that, but yeah.
That is some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, but he had been free on bail after being charged with armed robbery, multiple aggravated assaults, and deprivation of liberty and stealing. He had cut off his ankle bracelet last week in an attempt to evade the police. Obviously, he was caught after being rescued from the alligator waters, but yeah, got super drunk on New Year's, woke up in an alligator den, got arrested.
Wow, that is some crazy stuff. And I'm wondering, like how much nutrition did he get from eating his clothes?
I think he was eating snails, but I don't know if he was like using like his clothes to like, you know, wipe or something, or if he was using it. He said he was using it for bits and pieces along the way, so maybe he used some of it for tying things together. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's good. Yeah, the bits and pieces over the way. Maybe that's an expression over there. Something, I don't know. But yeah.
It might be.
I was kind of like, man, did he eat his clothes? That's crazy. But either way, dude, weird, wild stuff.
Right. I thought that was unique.
For sure.
Okay, so before I send you, let me at least copy the link so I can send it to you faster. But okay, so article number 2. I hope I'm getting this name right, but Neela Zisser, former Miss Earth New Zealand, and medical student, recently set a Guinness Book World Record for doing what? A. The biggest ball comprised of nothing but non-surgical face masks. B. Fastest pace for a half marathon. C. The largest scream from a human measured in decibels. Or D. Chicken nuggets. Most chicken nuggets consumed in 1 minute.
Ooh. I'm hoping it's chicken nuggets, but I'm gonna say masks. We're COVID season. Masks are a big thing. I'm going for masks.
I wish you had gone with the chicken nuggets because you would have done a first.
Oh.
And guessed the right answer. It is the most chicken nuggets in 1 minute. And in this article, there is a video of her doing it, which I think is impressive and that we should all watch.
Oh, wow.
It is only a minute long. But imagine trying to out nugget this person in a chicken nugget speed eating contest of sorts. And yeah, she makes it look pretty easy.
All right, so it took a second to get the video up. Here we go.
I'm always astonished by speed eaters, man.
Yeah,
man. People. Man, that's crazy stuff.
Gone in 60 seconds. Oh, we gotta watch a Chevy commercial first. Hold on.
I'm also endorsed by Chevy. I'm just kidding. I wish that was the case. I'd be doing something right.
Am I playing the right video?
I think so. Is it still the ad? It's still an ad.
Well, it's showing people doing records of various kinds.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
It says most chicken nuggets eaten in 1 minute. Guinness Book of World Records. Press play, and it just dives her right in to the chicken nuggets.
Oh, watch the clip below. Okay, there's two videos. I clicked the wrong one, but get it out. So, here we go.
So now we've built it up way too much. But I think I counted it when I found the article. I counted them, and I think it's 19. It doesn't give you a number because it was done by weight. I think. Because I kept looking for the official number of nuggets. And I kept getting she ate this amount of weight.
I like how she shakes her head a little bit every time she swallows one as if to say, no, I should not be doing this.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. It says right here plainly, the record is measured by weight, but for those counting, she had 16 nuggets. So 16 nuggets in 1 minute. Do you think you can do it, Steve?
Absolutely not. just the thought of that makes me want to vomit. Yeah, I do not have the stomach for anything like that. It keeps auto playing these ads that are like stupid loud. So that really distracted me. Oh yeah, but yeah, just the thought of that stuff like really gets my gag reflex going. And I'm like, nope, I would barf immediately. So
really?
Not. Yeah. Oh yeah, I couldn't do it. No way.
All right, so let me ask you this: complete like hunger situation, you can do the most damage you could possibly do. How many chicken wings do you think you could eat in one sitting?
Wait, wings?
Not like
wings or nuggets?
Just wings. I'm going chicken wings.
Okay.
How many do you think? You don't have to eat them in a minute. Just like you're just really hungry, and you're at the point that you could do the most damage. How many chicken wings do you think you could do maximum now?
Man, I don't know. See, I'm a big fat guy, but I'm not a big eater. Oh man, if I was really hungry, maybe 20. I mean, and that's
I see like that's my number as well.
See, and even at that, I like hesitate to say 20. Like more like 15.
That's
maybe.
a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of wings. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, even at 10 wings, I mean, I'm thinking because I wouldn't have fries or anything. Because normally, like, we eat Wingstop wings. Love Wingstop. Yeah. Wings are great. Fries are fantastic. But I'm thinking if I had no fries,
yeah,
I could probably do 15 pretty easy. But 20, I think, man, I'd really be hurting at the end.
Yeah, I remember because I was watching this competitive eating show once, and the guy was like, they were training for this challenge. And they would each eat 50 wings a piece. And somebody was like, we were all watching together, and one of my friends was like, oh my God, could you imagine trying to do that? I was like, what? How hard could that be? 50 wings? Come on. And so then one time I was like, I could do that easily, no problem. And so then like, I've like tried to order 25 wings one time, and there was no way on earth I was finishing it. So I kind of learned my lesson there. I was like, wow, 50 chicken wings is a lot. You know, like that's very impressive.
Have you ever eaten at Fazoli's?
I have actually. They're not around anymore, but I have been to one before. Yeah,
we've got a Fazoli's here in town, and it's right close to where I went to college, and it's an affordable place to eat. And at least back then, I think you still get them, quote unquote, but like. It's not like back in the day where like you got unlimited breadsticks, and they would always have someone walking around with a big old basket of breadsticks. Hey, you want some breadsticks? Then they like foist about 20 breadsticks on you or whatever. But anyways, like a good friend of mine, he was in a deal like where he like was challenged or said something like he could eat 30 breadsticks at Fazoli's. It was like 30 or 50, some ridiculous number like that. And like if you've ever had Fazoli's breadsticks, it's like it's not just a breadstick, like it is buttered. Much like my comment was moderated into oblivion, those breadsticks are buttered into oblivion. But the dude ate. I want to say 50, but I think it was 30. But either way, even the thought of eating more than 10 of those just makes me sick.
But my God, dude.
Did you ever poop again, is what I want to ask.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way on earth I could even come close to attempting that, man.
Man. Yeah.
Breadsticks from anywhere. There's no way I can eat 30 breadsticks from anywhere.
Oh, man. You and me both. Terry says she could do like 7 maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's a legit number. Oh, man. Yeah, that's just some nasty stuff.
Talking about the wings.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably should have clarified that. I mean,
like, yeah, I could eat 7 breadsticks.
7 breadsticks is like, yeah, you know, you're still a slob, but that's a pretty understandable number. But like 30 breadsticks. Yeah, she commented 7 wings. Sorry, Terry. I knew that was what you meant because I saw your comment had been there in a while. I should have clarified that. My apologies. Hey, Rowan, what's up, girlfriend? I miss you too. Like 1 breadstick, she says. Okay, I'm not buying that, Terry. Everybody can have at least 2 breadsticks, I swear.
2 breadsticks is a good minimum for everybody, I feel like.
But yeah, man, the whole concept of competitive eating just grosses the heck out of me.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing pretty about it in any form.
No.
I mean, no. The thought of dipping a hot dog into a glass of water is not the most appetizing thing I can think of.
See, that even more so makes me want to puke. Oh,
right. And so imagine doing that 60 times or whatever. Like, no thanks.
Oh. Like, how do you discover that that's a skill? Like, what are the...
Right.
It's when you're a poor college student and someone challenges you to eat 30 breadsticks. That's when you discover, hey, I can do this.
Challenge you to eat
30
breadsticks. All right, so last article. Let me get it. God, this ad's terrible. You're right; those ads are really loud.
Seriously, man.
All right, I really enjoyed this. A gemologist discovered a rock that, when split open, revealed an uncanny resemblance to what? A. Chester Cheetah. B. Jesus. C. Cookie Monster. Or D. The Superman symbol.
See, I was waiting to hear what all the options were because I wanted to hear what you came up with, but it's Cookie Monster because I've read this article too.
Steve, stop reading the articles.
Yeah, no, that one popped up in my news feed like a couple weeks ago, I want to say.
Oh, so you already had a predetermined knowledge of this.
Yes, I know that one in particular. I think it's probably that the internet realizes that you and I both like looking for offbeat news articles, and it's like, hey, these guys will gobble this up. Here's an ad for a Chevy Silverado. How can we use this to sell these guys something?
Man, I love this article because it really does look like the Cookie Monster. When I first saw the article, I thought they were like the eyeballs were photoshopped in.
I did too. Send me the link, man.
I thought that I sent it to you.
No.
I thought that's how you knew. I forgot. I was like, oh man, did I send it?
No. I knew this just because I had found it on my own. Yeah, no, I 100%.
It's the most adorable thing ever.
It is. It's adorable. It took me forever to realize what I was actually looking at because, like you had said, I thought it was photoshopped in there, or like someone had put like googly eyes or something.
Googly eyes on it, yeah.
Here we go. So here it was. It say an agate gemstone recently discovered inside a volcanic rock could be worth more than $10,000 thanks to its uncanny resemblance to Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. And here we got our picture of it. That is hilarious. It's perfect. Like, the only thing that would have made it more perfect than how it is already is if they cut it open and there were little cookies inside of his mouth or something somehow. It's like, because outside of that, I really don't think that this gets any better than where it already is right now. So.
No, like I couldn't even draw it better than that, probably.
No,
I mean, I think the $10,000 price tag is a little extreme, because of the whole, it looks like this kind of deal. But the fact that just happened and someone was able to find it and someone was able to cut it open, I mean, that's just to see, like, oh my God, this looks just like Cookie Monster. Like, how cool of a message is that?
Yeah.
Or how cool of a story is that? I really enjoyed it.
Well, what's so hilarious is that, like I said, I scrolled past this probably 5 or 6 times before finally clicking on it and then realizing, oh, that's actually a rock that looks like that. That it's not actually that someone made this thing or something.
Yeah. So you were waiting for my made up answers, right? So
yeah. That's it.
Jesus and the Superman symbol, huh?
Right. Yeah. So now I should clarify, now that you get what I was saying, is that like I before you even read the answers, I already knew what the answer was gonna be. So I was waiting. Okay, let's see what he came up with here. Now the Jesus rock, I would definitely take that though. So yeah, sign me up for the Jesus rock. But
for the Jesus rock, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much everything that's been famous has been with either like a Jesus resemblance, a Virgin Mary resemblance, or I feel like there was a Chester Cheetah resemblance in something. I could be wrong, but
it's like, the Lord appeared on my
Jesus, Virgin Mary, Chester Cheetah.
The Lord appeared on my everything bagel. It's a sign.
On That's my it. Everything bagel.
I'm confessing to my secret family.
I'm confessing to my secret family. The everything bagel really changed our
lives. The Lord spoke to me through breakfast. Oh man.
Well, that's been the articles for this week, or for this podcast, I guess I should say. I hope I brought some good stuff to the table for you to enjoy.
No, good choices, good picks. Good picks. So, guys, everybody, guys, gals, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Hope you had a great time. We definitely did have good times ourselves. Good gosh, can I speak the English language? But no, we're super stoked that you guys decided to spend your evening with us and hope you had a great time. So be sure to check out beero'clockpodcast.com for all things Beer O'Clock. There is also a page here on Facebook for the Beer O'Clock podcast. Hop on over there. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Things you love, things you hate, new stuff you'd like to see, suggestions for topics of discussion. We would love to have all of that stuff. But yeah, all of those links can be found at beerclockpodcast.com. So just head on over there. You can also find links to where you can listen to the podcast in audio form on services such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. So on behalf of myself and my good friend Adam, we appreciate you guys. Have yourself a tall, cool beverage and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you all very much for hanging out with us. Please give us feedback. We don't really have any feedback to go off of, so we don't know if we're doing things right, if we could be better. If you love it how it is, let us know.
I don't know what Adam's talking about. I'm a professional podcaster, and I know exactly what the hell I'm doing.
What I'm doing.
Maybe he needs some help or something. But no, we'd love to hear from you guys. So yeah,
certainly. And not just the topics. Don't be shy. It doesn't always have to be all about us running the show. We would love to talk about some topics that are important to you guys. So feedback is good. Let us know.
For realsies. 100%.
That's it. That's my piece. That's my piece out of it. Thank you all very much.
That's all I got to say.
Your time with us tonight.
Yeah, and one bag for the milk. Thank you very much.
One bag for the milk.
Oh my gosh, the milk in a bag. I just can't take it. I can't take it.